What's going on, everybody? It's Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com, and I'm checking here with HomegrownRadio.net, as you should be. Tune in now. All right, we back at it. Homegrown Radio, Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head, and we are back at it, like
West
I said.
Coast.
And we are back at it. Maybe I should do a back at it, like you say, West Coast.
Hey,
Should I get some T-shirts?
Man, listen.
Hey, Laced, what's up? Holla at your boy.
Matter of fact, this show
It's brought to you by
DJ Head and Laced, West Coast Lace hoodies. Make sure you go to lacelifestyle.net, get your West Coast apparel.
Can we talk about your percentage now?
Brought to you by DJ Head. The T-shirts.
What is the percentage, though?
Excuse me, sir. The hoodies, I need to finish the pre-roll.
Go ahead.
The T-shirts, the hoodies are all available right now on lacedlifestyle.net.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You could go in there and you can get matter of fact, the ladies, or if the men, depending on where you live geographically, what side of Santa Monica you living on,
okay,
get them crop tops. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, so can we talk about your percentage, though?
What percentage? I don't listen. All proceeds get donated to the charity of my choosing at a later date.
Oh my God,
West Coast.
So wait, so is this a situation where they will possibly sell out and you can't get any more? Or they constantly re-upping.
We ain't sold out as of yet.
That's when a nigga ain't give you notes. And you just start talking. You know what had happened, man. You know what we doing over at Lace South Bay
pocket.
Okay.
So yes, we got them on deck all day, every day.
So I can get one right now.
You can go on the website.
Okay.
And go to lacelifestyle.net.
Right, just
you get your shit within 7 business days.
Damn, 7, huh?
5 to 7 to 10 to
5. So is it 5 or 7?
5 to 10 business days.
5 to 10. So 7, then 10, then 5 to 10.
Well, listen.
All right, I just want to make sure that we, telling the people the correct information.
We gonna tell the people the correct information. Well, look, how much percentage of your mustache is?
Hey, it's at 84. I'm at a good 84 right now.
So I'm zooming on this nigga shit right here. Zooming on this nigga
right here. Pending. My shit is 84% pending.
Hey, that nigga. Hey, what's that nigga? Zack Attack? Was that Zach?
Oh, my nigga Zack Attack. Shout out to
Zack Attack on Instagram. He said that
my mustache is pending.
Chuck Dizzle's mustache is pending.
I ain't never recovered since. I ain't gonna lie. I've not recovered since. I'm used to my sideburns wasn't coming in, but you can't just attack my mustache. Like, that's something I'm still sensitive about, because everything else, like, usually when I have my Wolfman on like I got right now, this is kind of somewhat coming in, but my mustache, it hits the peak at 85.
First of all, salute to everybody that listens to us on all digital platforms, wherever you podcast. Yeah. I do want to say this, if you didn't catch us,
you know what?
On Real 92.3. Wait. Hold on, let me tell this story real quick.
Man, go ahead.
Chuck Dizzle's on the radio. We on Real 92.3, LA's home for hip hop.
Wow, you did the whole thing. Okay.
And we are doing our show called Homegrown Radio every Saturday night now. From
7 to midnight.
7 to midnight.
Talk
Turn
your
us
shit.
the fuck up,
Hello.
West Coast. We're doing our show, and I may have mentioned Chuck Dizzle's mustache, and on air he says, what, I'm kind of insecure.
Yeah, I'm insecure about this.
I'm insecure about my mustache.
Yeah. I did, because
classic radio.
It was my wife's birthday that day, and we all went. It was a big dinner we went to, and I didn't get a chance to get my hair cut, so
Listen.
I was going out there, looking like Wolfgang. What the fuck?
All right, what was you gonna say though?
No, I was gonna say there's more affiliates that are listening to us now. Shout out to our folks over at Dash Radio, Native Rhymes. So now they know that I have 84% mustache as well, man. So shouts out to iHeartRadio, of course. Shouts out to iTunes, Google Play, on everywhere else that everybody's checking in. Homegrown Radio. Yes, I do have an 84% mustache, and it's not going up anytime soon. So.
And this is our first show since the Grammys and all that.
Okay, I definitely want to talk about this for sure. All right, now. Everybody's up in arms about Jay-Z not winning anything. He got snubbed. I personally
he was nominated, what, 5 or 6?
8.
Oh, shit.
He was 8. Now, I'm going to tell you what, on GP, I feel like he got snubbed in the sense of, this is the first time the Grammys is in New York, like 15 years, right? He's nominated for 8 Grammys, and I feel like on that strength, they should have gave him something. Yeah. Like one. Just maybe album of the year, just to kind of pacify him. However, they did give him like an icon award. I think it was like the night before or some shit like that. So he didn't come for no reason. He was
keep your ass off TV.
Yeah, exactly. He was on there for a reason. They gave him some shit.
Listen, you want to be on TV, Hove? Get a haircut.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's what we doing, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, though. That's probably what the white folks said to him.
But my whole point is this. All right, so with Kendrick obviously being in that same race, Bruno Mars being in that same race, I don't feel like he got snubbed. I really don't.
No, I don't.
And everybody's talking about, oh man, this is not fair. I'm like, dude, like if it was any other time, any other artist he was going up against, possibly, you know, any other time, I would feel like, okay, maybe. Like I said, I can make an argument for maybe album of the year because Bruno had won some shit. Kendrick had won like 4 or 5 already, like best rap album and a couple other songs, or a couple other categories. I feel like they maybe should have gave him one, but I don't feel like he got snubbed.
I don't think nobody should give you nothing. That's just my own personal point.
But that's not. But we know how to
fuck all that pity awards. Like, here's the thing, right? Because I was talking to somebody about this shit too, and they said this is Hov's last chance at winning album of the year. He's never won it, or whatever the case may be for 444. This is one of the most personal albums he's ever put out, and this is pretty much his last shot at winning album of the year amongst this caliber of artists. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, let's be honest, Jay-Z's on his way out.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
100% on his way out. At a point where, did you not hear when they was giving away 444 tickets?
Damn, you're right. You're right. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
They were giving tickets away. We gave some tickets away too.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? You gave some out on a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But do you think that's his choice though?
No. Why would I give you some shit I can say?
No. I'm saying his choice as far as wanting to be out.
Oh, no. I don't know. I think he understands the climate, which is why I think he's doing things. If you notice, for 444, when Jay dropped 444, he didn't really do no press like that. He didn't hit the Breakfast Club. He didn't do none of the shit that he typically have done previously.
Right.
He did shit with the dude from LA Times. I mean, from New York Times.
CNN. Right.
He's on some other shit.
Right.
And he understands where he's at demographically.
Right. Which also, I believe it gives him like a new territory in terms of hip hop. We've never seen hip hop grow up
exactly,
like this.
And that's what I'm saying. He's always been a pioneer, trailblazer. He's always been innovative. He's always been person to lead the pack on doing different innovative shit. He was the first person to do the Samsung shit.
True.
And you know what I mean? Just different things. He's always done shit his way and done it differently. So I think this new way of doing it is he's transcending hip hop and taking it into another direction where we can't have mainstream access seeing it. I don't remember that. I don't recall ever seeing a rapper that used to be a drug dealer. Turn businessman.
They've had him.
No. I'm saying do what he's doing.
Okay.
I never saw anybody sit down with the exec. I forgot what the dude's title is from
CNN.
From New York Times. Was he the editor in chief?
One of the writers. Yeah.
One of the. Was it the
editor?
I've never seen him. I've never seen anyone in hip hop move this way.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying as far as his business acumen and as far as the things that he's doing in a non-traditional way.
Well, I feel like that's paving the way. Why not give somebody like that a Grammy in a few years if he happens to drop an album?
And that's what I'm telling you. I think that the musical aspect of what he's doing is not as important now as the other shit that he's doing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the New York Times shit didn't have. I mean, they talked about his music,
right?
But it didn't really have nothing to do with his music,
right?
He was talking about life and business acumen and where he's going and his mental shit. Yeah. And then when he did the sit down with what's the boy that tried to steal artistic shit? Elliot Wilson.
Yeah.
When he sat down with Elliot. What?
We'll talk about that. Shout out to Tidal.
Shout out to Tidal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pick up the Homegrown Podcast.
Hello. Come on,
you know what I'm saying?
That.
Maybe we won't.
Hey, you can steal our shit for like 2 weeks and
West
then,
Coast.
hey.
So anyway, West Coast. So anyway, damn, that shit just threw me off. My point is nobody's ever done what Jay is doing.
Which I feel like he's paving the way, so why not give a Grammy to somebody like that? Because the landscape.
There's no Grammy category for that.
Music is changing. You never know. The way shit is going
create a category for doing cool shit outside of the studio.
But the thing is okay, let's talk about this then. And maybe I don't know too much about it, but in terms of Grammys, is it based off music?
There's a Grammy committee. Now
listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it based off of the impact of music, or is it based off the music itself?
I don't know.
Okay, and so it's about that. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like based off of that, this new wave of what's going on. There's new people that's probably signing up for the Grammy committee right now. That's a part of it, and the people.
I'm definitely signing up.
Exactly. Okay, so with you're a person that's into music, right?
I'm into music, and I'm also into impact and what shit means.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that has nothing. Well, that has something to do with it. But in that case, like the impact is more important. And whoever's voting it, if you say like, "Damn, Jay came out and did some shit," like what I respect about this whole situation with Jay, right? He didn't do it the conventional way. He didn't do it the traditional way. He did it his own way. And yeah, it may not, like, I was arguing with my nephew about this shit today. He was like, man, I felt like he got it. I'm like, you got to understand, the Grammys is all about popularity. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We were all up in arms when with Good Kid, Mad City didn't win rap album, the best rap album.
Yeah, but we was being racist.
No, we weren't. We were being,
keeping it solid.
We saw Kendrick's impact on a local level and felt like it was on some national shit. And yeah, some people might have been like, yeah, okay, Macklemore shouldn't have got that shit. Mm-hmm. But Macklemore had a more popular fucking song, a more popular movement at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain to, or that now I'm trying to explain to you. My point being, we can never go off popularity because popularity is dramatically dependent on numbers. And there are more white people than everything else. So just like in LA, you know how this shit works because we do our radio shit. Right. We dictate the culture. Mm-hmm. We don't move it. Right. The what moves the culture is once people like what we're doing and then they adopt it or they adopt it or they start to duplicate it.
Gotcha.
So what I'm saying is if just going back to what you just said, if Good Kid, Mad City was the more impactful record, it's still not going to be the most popular, except in the communities where it's widely accepted amongst the urban community versus the more popular. If it's not popular amongst white people, it can't be popular nationally because there's just more white people. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, what I'm saying is that I think that with the impact that certain artists
shout out to my white friends. Happy birthday, Alex.
Yeah, happy birthday, Alex. With the impact of I guess my whole point is that more people are being aware of what's going on. So therefore, you have more people like yourself, like out of this whole situation, because you threw some tweets out there.
Oh no, I went in,
right?
Yeah,
and somebody called you out. They said, well, "Why don't you sign up?"
Exactly,
and you're going to do it, right?
Yes.
So which means it's going to be one more person that's not outside the culture, so to speak.
Agreed.
That's going to be so. Just think about how many people have signed up and now are part of the process that weren't a part of it last year. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a part of it in the next 5 years. That may not have to worry about it being a popularity contest. It's more of people that are within the culture and really see the impact.
I really hope that that's the direction that we're going, and also
which is why I'm saying that it may. I hear what you're saying. It's Jay-Z's last time, but it may not. Who knows? In 5 years, what the fuck? That motherfucker might run for president. You never know.
And I do want to point out that who won Song of the Year was Bruno Mars.
Yeah, no, it was Kendrick won Song of the Year.
No, Song of the Year, not rap.
Oh, okay.
Song of the Year was Bruno Mars over Kendrick and Despacito. That's some bullshit because Despacito was the biggest song of the fucking year internationally.
True.
That motherfucker was on every goddamn that motherfucker got played on country stations.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
You ever seen a motherfucking redneck hillbilly
dancing to Despacito?
Bull riding motherfucker? No, ask him what Despacito. You heard this song?
Goddamn Despacito.
Goddamn, I heard them goddamn
Despacito shit.
Them motherfuckers bring that shit over the goddamn wall and got me singing it all motherfucking. I'm telling you, Despacito was the biggest song. So that shit broke records on streaming.
That's true.
And I don't know. Like, I think that I was arguing with one of my friends about this shit, and I think that Bruno Mars just made a song that everybody can dance to. Bruno Mars is a genius. Mm-hmm. I mean, he got his, alleged drug.
What? Oh, okay.
Coke allegations and shit like that.
Sniff.
But whatever gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
So you're saying the cocaine was the reason why he won?
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that
so you said the grams to the Grammys. Is that what you're saying?
From grams to Grammys.
Hello. Wow.
Shout out to Hove.
That's what you're doing.
Anyway.
All right, so I guess
I'm gonna just say this. I got called out on Instagram. Shout out to ugly ass Arrow. Arrow ugly as a motherfucker.
AYRO.
Yeah, but he called me out on Instagram. He's like, "Yo, if you got a problem with how they doing the Grammys, why don't you be a part of the voting process?" And I hate when people that's not as smart as me, intellectually outwit me. It bothers me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I want to see. I wish I could have seen your face the moment you read that shit.
No, because I have a problem when people I look at as inferior intellectually outwit me. That's a real insecurity I got.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Who?
You not here yet?
Yeah, here.
Curtis King is in the background, but he's not here yet.
Grammy, people that sign up on that.
Okay, all right. So he's a part of the Grammy.
Turn his mic up.
Whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. They can't hear him because he wasn't on the microphone.
Okay, my bad. So he wasn't here. We didn't just hear that.
Yeah, we didn't just hear that.
Okay,
all right. So anyway, Curtis King is here. He fucked the reveal up.
Yeah, we don't do post production. God damn it, Curtis King is here. Shit.
Anyway, I'm gonna start touching on that. This is the second thing, and then we can move on.
Okay.
I want to talk real quick, real briefly about, like, we speaking of insecurities. I have a real problem with these women and their insecurities and them dishing this shit off on other people. Because I noticed, like, in hip hop, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of this. What she like. I don't like how they pinning like Nicki against Cardi and all this stuff. I'm like, and Cardi, to my knowledge, has never really said nothing about Nicki.
She don't want no problems.
Is that what it is?
No, not like that, but she...
you just said it like it was...
No, she don't want to, like, okay, for example, like myself. I'm a type of person, I don't want no problems. Like, I don't... Unless you start some shit with me,
right?
We can go there, but I'm not a natural person that wants no problems like that. I feel like Cardi's the same way. She don't want no fucking problems. Now, if you pin her up against the wall, like, okay, then you back her against the corner, she might show that fucking New York side.
I think that me on my own personal opinion, I wish that people could just really embrace the next wave. Like, if Nicki, she know where she's at in her career, and she know Cardi got the wave right now. Embrace that. But
shit. That's boiling down to other people's insecurities. Actually, it's funny that you say that.
That's why I said that.
Safari was on, I think, Everyday Struggle before he started struggling. He was on there.
Shout out to Everyday Struggle.
She was struggling right now.
You know what I'm saying? Some LA niggas on there.
Man, straight
West
up.
Coast.
He was on there talking about how and again, this is all subjective because he's our ex, so take it for what it's worth. But he basically said that she knows that, she meaning Nicki, knows that Cardi has that wave, and she doesn't like that shit at all.
Really?
She don't like that shit, and hence why she didn't come to. They weren't in the video together for Motorsport.
Right.
Why she's not really. She's openly embraced her on Twitter, but I mean, when have you seen a video of them together?
This is the question I got. Did Nicki tweet it with the feature at I am Cardi B? Or if she deleted her shit, that's petty.
Oh, you got to go back and look at that shit.
I'm really curious about that.
Go research that.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
All right.
But yeah, go ahead.
Somebody brought some shit up 24 years later. I think it's 24 years. I saw some news, a headline break that Ayanna Jackson, you might not know who this is. You know who Ayanna Jackson is? Tomas, Kurt.
Tomas, like, y'all know that bitch?
He saw the headline. He like, man, you don't say. Yeah.
So you don't say.
Motherfucker. She ain't gonna get me in trouble. Shit like that. My girl listen to your shit now.
I don't know that bitch.
Ayanna Jackson is the young lady who accused Tupac of sexual assault back in '94.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's finally on camera now talking about the whole incident.
She got a bag, fix her teeth.
Probably so. She's done interviews before, but this is the first time she's been on camera, and she talked to none other than Mr. Vlad TV.
Man,
and
Vlad, man,
he's getting.
I just don't.
He's getting.
All right, go ahead, because I'm fuck that.
I wonder if they pay for those interviews,
bro? Just go ahead.
Okay, no, I'm just
I don't
saying
want to start talking about him and then.
No, it's not even about that. But I'm just saying, like, I wonder what would make her speak up after all this time. Like, she doesn't seem to be promoting anything. It's coming out very
Ayanna,
random.
what's her name?
Jackson.
Ayanna Jackson. You missed your window. Okay,
Man, that's
your window should have been the release weekend. All Eyes on You.
That would have been the perfect time.
That was your window to get a bag, fix your teeth.
But what do you do at that point? Like, do you have to like low key promote something, or is just the awareness of, hey, that was me that?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Chuck Dizzle. I know because you married, you gonna do that old bullshit.
Here we go.
You don't follow Instagram chicks.
I don't,
and you don't like them. But you've seen an Instagram chick or two.
No, don't say.
What are they promoting?
They're promoting their quote unquote good looks, right? So they can host parties.
No,
that's that in theory.
That's what they think they promote.
That's what they're promoting, because you have people that are jumping in their DMs that are saying, hey, when you're in this city, I got $1,500 for you to come host One Oak or this.
They do that as a secondary. That's an auxiliary source of income for them. They don't do that to promote parties or to get. They promote that shit because they like attention.
Exactly. But what comes with attention?
More attention.
Money. In their case, money.
I listen, Chuck.
I feel you.
Hold on. We live completely different lives.
You right. Let me step back.
Yeah,
step back.
I'm about to say, goddamn it.
Let me.
You know, I don't want to expose, and I don't want to do this and put myself out there, but I have frequented an Instagram chick or two.
Okay, and it's not about money.
They don't know. They don't know how to enterprise themselves. They are in it for the fucking attention.
You're right. Just because they don't know how to enterprise themselves, that doesn't mean that they aren't gonna recoup what's going on. Like they're gonna want the bag.
they want the bag, but they want the fame more than they want the bag. Just like people we work with would prefer to promote themselves via social media and promote themselves via our this and our that, our different various platforms, than to actually do the work to get the bag and fix the teeth.
Got you.
West Coast.
But I'm saying, like, what if that is their angle? Their angle is twerking or taking shots, you know what I'm saying, taking booty shots, or, you know what I'm saying, body shots. That's their angle. That's their way of getting attention. Yes, you're right. Attention is what they're seeking, but if they're like, yo, I can get something for this attention, why not go that? Why not go that route versus let me brighten up this motherfucking business plan?
Listen, I'm gonna call a spade a spade.
I hear you.
I feel like Ayanna Jackson. I mean, it's terrible what you had to go through. I don't necessarily know if Pac did it or not. I personally don't.
I don't like her story, man.
I didn't watch your interview. I barely watched the Superhead video on Vlad TV, and that was very interesting. But I don't really fuck with that channel like that. Yeah. So I haven't watched your interview. But you know, I don't know if this happened to you or not. I don't want to be the Me Too, involved in all that shit. But I will say this: you missed your window. Yeah. Okay, All Eyes on Me release weekend. Goddamn, it was like April. What was Pac's birthday?
It was September.
No,
I'm sorry. June was his birthday.
June something. That's when your window was. Hey, look, I'm the girl in the leopard dress on the wall. That was your window.
Here's my story.
You would have got a bag.
Kind of like how
that's what it was about.
Kind of like how Michelle did it. Michelle
right around straight out of Compton.
Right out straight out of Compton. She's
West
like,
Coast.
Nah. This is what really happened. Damn. Well.
Anyway,
you heard about your boy Blake Griffin?
Yeah, fuck that. I'm a Laker.
Lakers all day.
West Coast. Shout out to Matt Barnes though. That's my nigga.
He I was kind of surprised that they let him go though. Not gonna even lie. Like that's right now. Clippers,
I don't care.
Clippers went back to JV.
Hey man. Hey, you know what it is? They got having budget issues.
Huh?
I think I was talking to our boss Doc Winter today about the Clipper shit, and he said that he thinks it's due to budget issues. He goes to a lot of Clipper games. He's he a big boss. He got the seats and all that, and he said that the attendance is not really up to par at the Staples Center during the Clippers games, which they make it look incredible on fucking social media. Oh my God, it's to the rafters on fucking social media, but. You know what I'm saying? They try to sex play the Lakers like we ain't the motherfucking niggas with all the banners.
Yeah, man. Nah, Lakers still the number one team, and anybody that tell you otherwise is lying to themselves.
All right, so look,
I had to. I shot Clipper Darryl a DM. I had to give him the 1-800 number from Logic because I know he was kind of
yeah.
And
I do want to point this out. That song that Logic did 1-800, it's amazing. I just don't want to hear that shit. Okay?
That's random as fuck.
I don't want to hear that shit. I'm tired of it. And I understand what it represents. I know people that have died in tragic through suicide and all that shit. I know people personally.
Yeah.
But fuck my life.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to hear that shit no more.
Side note, I mean, on that note, actually, if you want to check, we posted a video too, man. It was an old video from Montreality, but they chopped up a little clip from an interview with Ab-Soul, and he's talking about just encouraging people not to go that route. And I think it was really, really dope for him to talk about. He kind of got choked up in the middle of it, obviously, but check that video out on homegrownradio.net, man. It's a real dope little word from Ab-Soul, man. And speaking of somebody that knows Ab-Soul very well.
That segue.
I'm getting good with these segues.
Yeah,
that's
kind of
whatever.
Radio
Carson. He has my voice as well. The homie's been here. I think has the record. If not him, maybe Noah James. I'm not sure. That's been here at Homegrown the most.
Right.
The most features here at Homegrown Radio.
Hey.
Our brother, he's got the author fit on because he is an author now, producer. I don't know if he's a rapper anymore. We'll talk about that in just a second.
Here at the hard bottoms on.
He came in here with the motherfucking hard bottoms.
He get the hard bottoms.
And his mustache is at 100%.
Man, swing the camera over to here, Tomas.
We got
to see this shit right
I
here.
wasn't even gonna bring that up.
Curtis King.
What up, Kurt?
Hey, what's up? What's the word?
Hey, you in here looking like the motherfucking Black Panther Zamunda.
Wow.
King of emperors in this motherfucker.
And more, all that.
I feel it. I like that. He got the Blade Trinity fit on. I fuck with it.
Getting them all, man.
You know what I'm saying? Deacon King.
Deacon King. Dang.
Yes.
West Coast.
Now, talk to us about this. I definitely want you to plug your shit because you can right now. This is what you're here for.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Despite what this man may say.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm let him plug his shit.
Yeah, plug your
Say
shit
my
while you can. But the book, man. Talk about the book that you got out right now, and then you can go and pick it up if you like to, because we're gonna be on
Yeah,
camera
pick
as
up
well.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I got brought copies.
There we go.
I brought copies.
So this book was a 2-year process called The Prosperous Hip Hop Producer. It started off when I made a video when I was going through a bunch of life changes.
Yeah.
And I made a video for YouTube. And if people don't know the story, I've been an artist for about 10 years. And I made a video called The Biggest Lie in Hip Hop where I talked about
I remember that.
As sort of a middle-aged rapper, there's a divide between the OGs and the young heads, and nobody's trying to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who gonna listen to who's a person that they're willing to listen to? Well, I'm not too old to relate to somebody that's a younger head, and I'm not too young for an older head to feel like he can resonate with some of the same things. So I made this video, and it shot up to like 70,000 views on Facebook in 24 hours. I never had a music video that did that.
Right.
Never had, and I didn't shot stuff on Red Cam. This video was me turning around my iPhone. And I sat there and had a conversation, 6 minutes. And in the midst of that video kind of moving around, I talked about a book that changed my life called The Go Giver. And I just was like, you never know with Twitter. You never know who you can reach. So I just shared it. I shared the video. The authors of the book reached out to me, followed me, and then went to the video and said it brought them to tears. And I'm like, your book changed my life. So in the midst of this, I'm not even thinking about a book. Then an independent publisher, named Maurice Bassett, just hits me up in my little contact form on my website, and I'm thinking like, this got to be somebody playing a joke. He said, I watched your video, I was touched, and I feel like you have a book in you. And I'm like,
what?
At the time I was 32, 32, maybe 31. But I was like, a book. I was thinking that's more
Some
for when you
sexual
like 40, 42. Well, I wouldn't think that.
not
but-
You got a book in you.
But if that's where your mind goes.
That's what you got. Okay.
I was like, I got a book.
When you think about that, you think about 40s, 50s, you think a little
I'm thinking
older.
like when I have accomplished some things that somebody would want to pick up a stranger's book.
I automatically go with age, but I feel you. You're right.
Age,
you're
and
you're
I feel
absolutely
like,
right.
Because even like when you think about Gucci Mane, you see his book that he has out. He's going through some
Done a lot of
stories that
stuff,
I want
right.
to see documented. I want to hear his account on it. And so when he approached me with that, I had no idea. I just said, I said possibly. And so he kind of gave me some resources. The first thing for anybody that wants to ever write a book, write the table of contents first.
Damn.
And that was something I didn't realize how important it is. I wrote the table of contents because at first I was just writing about everything that happened in Carson.
Man, look, what had happened when I woke up
Hey, this
today?
what happened. Niggas got shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was scattered. Oh, this book would have been a blog post if it wasn't for that. So I was running off stories, trying to think of like things that would be influential because I knew it was going to be about production.
Right.
Because the gentleman that approached me, he has a series called The Prosperous. So it'd be like the prosperous photographer, the prosperous DJ, the prosperous life coach.
Got you.
And he wanted me to do the prosperous producer. So I'm thinking like, okay, well, my prosperity comes in the form of the business that I decided to take on after I sort of went the opposite direction of the industry. That business is the prosperity, but there's a story of how it got there and what it looks like, what success looks like for individuals in 2018.
Yeah.
Is it always just the person with the credits, or is it always this? And so as I went through the story, as I had all of these chapters lined up, I just started literally getting on a tape recorder and ranting them out. That's what he told me. Ran out these chapters, and then once you have sort of these rants, now you can sit down in front of the computer, write them out, and then go into detail on the sections that you didn't go into much detail about.
Got you.
So then I did that, and then it ended up being where I did less and less from the tape recorder. 2 years later, the majority of the process was the editing. I had a great editor, Chris Nelson from Seattle. Great editing, and he helped me through the process, but it's hard to believe that this is sitting in front of me, that I can like physically give somebody my story within this book. 240 pages. It got QR codes that basically, as I'm telling you a story, and I say, this beat battle had this influence on me. Oh, before you turn the page, pull your phone out and watch the video of the beat battle.
Oh, shit. So it's kind of like a smart.
I like that.
Smart.
Hand me one of them books, Tomas, please.
Here you go.
So you can actually experience what's going on versus just read about them or go from your perspective. You can see it firsthand.
That's the beauty of living in 2018.
Oh, my God.
Is that somebody can use that QR scanner and go straight there.
I see it. Yeah.
Straight to the stories.
It says scan the QR code to hear the super.
Show them on the page. Maybe if you're looking at this right now,
here,
see if you can scan this real quick. Get a little perspiration real quick.
It's a real QR code.
Yeah.
That's really innovative. I fuck with that.
Gotta have that.
I like that. I like that fusion of modern, and then also going back to what you said about what y'all was just talking about, age.
Yeah.
I think we put an age on books because we think it's an old thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We related to, look at that old nigga over there reading on the book. But
right.
I didn't get into books either until I started really paying attention to until I really started to want to be informed about things that, and people who are serious about informing people write fucking books.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
I mean, honestly, you got to think about it. If you take all of your compilation of Facebook posts, these long-winded posts, and even like if you're a blogger, you've probably already written a book. It's just all over chapters.
It's all over the fucking place.
It's those that scatter shit you were talking about.
And I'll tell you, I've read a lot of books, that I've come across that interest me. But the books that I know that have been massively successful, like there's one that right now it's an orange book that you see in Barnes and Noble, and I think it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a
I
Fuck.
love that book. Mark Manson.
Amazing.
Shout out to Mark Manson.
Yes.
Yeah,
But see, that's how books have to be made for it to be a newer thing. So as I read those books, as I read books by Gary Vee, where he's literally talking, like I can hear his tone in the writing.
Right.
100%.
That's the kind of stuff you need for this generation. That wanna read
Exactly.
stuff.
To consume it, yeah.
It can't be like the old textbooks we came up because I didn't want to read those.
Right,
It took me getting out of school before I started reading. As crazy as that sounds, I didn't like reading in school.
Right.
Only thing I liked reading was like The Catcher in the Rye. That was the only thing. But when I got out, I started reading textbooks where I was like, okay, these are people actually talking to me just through the platform of this. And so that spawned the audiobook, which that was a 16-hour process. I did the
So it's an
audiobook.
You did it yourself?
The publisher took care of all of this.
Bet.
I'm thankful that I had that assistance along
No, I'm
the way.
saying, did you voice it?
Oh, I voiced it, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
'Cause I got to tell my story. No, the thing is, like, I got stories of when I got first
Is
press.
that available right now?
It's available right now. Not the audiobook. Not the audiobook.
Oh, okay.
That's mid-February. He wants to focus.
It'll be out by the time people see this. It'll be.
Oh, it'll be here? Okay, yeah. He's focused right now on that paperback, but there's going to be a hardback. There's going to be the
Now
audiobook.
explain that before you move on.
Yeah.
Explain the difference between a hardback and a paperback, because I don't know the fucking difference.
Yeah, well, hardback, those are literally usually in limited supply because it costs more to make. It's almost like when you look and see like your grandma got that Bible that's been around for about 50 years. It's literally a hardback.
100%.
Those
Durability,
books last
basically.
longer.
Yeah,
Even
okay.
the pages feel a bit different.
Gotcha.
They're just more sturdy. So
I always wonder why people why people wanted to do that, but I understand like it does
Because that's
last
some
longer.
industry.
Yeah.
That's some inner industry shit.
Sure.
Like when people say, "Oh, no, I'm putting out a paperback and I'm gonna put out a hardback."
Right.
Like we don't know what the fuck people. I don't know. I
It's
never
like-
knew that.
It's like, I mean, and we had this conversation. Why do people still do vinyls? But it becomes
some legacy shit.
It becomes a novelty item at that
Right.
point, right? So then that to me, that's what the hardback is. And I was telling the publisher, I was like, I think the majority of my audience is going to consume this on a PDF.
100%.
And because that's where they found me at. They found me on YouTube. They found me through the social medias. And that's what ended up happening. But the way the book is broken up, every single chapter is another process of a beat making. So, for instance, I say like one chapter is called The Kick.
Okay.
But I don't tell you how to make a kick, right? I'm
right,
telling you.
right.
I take a quote from like a homie of mine. Like Awesome had a quote in there where it said, "The kick is the heartbeat of a drum loop." So then I break down like the heartbeat of my grind from being
So do you
incarcerated,
know-
from my mother, from all these things that go into that.
Do you know the table of contents by heart? I'm gonna read this because this is so interesting to me.
Sure.
Chapter 1 is the tempo. Chapter 2 is the snare.
Right.
Chapter 3 is the kick. 4 the swing. 5 the hi-hats. 6 the sample. 7 the melody. 8 the bass. 9 structure the beat. 10 mix the beat. 11 play the beat. 12 share the beat. 13
Oh,
is
that's
the
good.
producer Nor.
there you go.
There it is.
Wait, one more time, I missed it.
I don't want to
I
fuck
had to
that up.
I had to read that a bunch of different times. So yeah, no worries.
The
But
producer Nor.
The producer Nor. The combination of being a
gotcha.
producer and entrepreneur at the same time.
Got you.
So,
'Cause I was because
Producer
I
Nara?
don't. No. I'm
that
just
with the
telling
merch,
you,
too.
I don't necessarily got all the bars on my signal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the strongest signal
I don't believe
on a
that.
cell
I don't
phone.
believe that. That's part of your. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
Don't play them.
So when
I
I
don't
look at
believe
this
that.
word, I'm like, this ain't in the English language.
Sure.
One, two.
Sure.
You finna have me sound like an asshole trying to pronounce this word.
But you know what it is?
The producer norm.
Producer norm. But
I like that.
You know what that to me is important is that as you hearing all of these stories that come out about producers who didn't get their money, producers who instead of taking it to a legal place, they take it to Twitter,
right?
And they want people to rally around their fuck up.
Yeah,
I look at it as a producer, and I'm like, that's your opportunity to go either you set that as the tempo when you first went into that studio session, or something legitimately happened and you were speaking to the wrong people about business.
Oh, shit.
Like I think a lot of times producers go speak to the artists about business and speak to the business about the art. You can't get mad. It's like me speaking another language to somebody who speaks another language.
Like you can't be mad that they don't understand what's going
on that level, right? So I think the majority of my career has been that where, you know, I would think that because we're cool, because we have relationships, all of a sudden that equals out to something else. That's neither my fault or the other. That book, the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, he tells you there's a difference between fault and responsibility.
100%.
Yeah.
And so there's so many things that happened during my career, during my story, like stuff that I probably haven't even shared with y'all. I've known y'all for years, but the whole basis of it is that I'm not a victim. I'm at fault for this, but I'm not at fault for everything that happened, but it was my responsibility to change it. Right. That's what I noticed, is that a lot of my peers had gotten so used to being somebody else's employee or waiting for somebody else to give them an alley-oop that they become so dependent, and then they look up 15 years from now and then they wonder why they don't have the same respect as a dude that just came in 17, 18 who said, look, from the jump, my pops already told me about the business, so this is what I expect. When you set the bar low, you can't expect for things to fly over it because people have a good heart.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why that's so beneficial, not just to producers, but for anybody who wants to build something from the bottom. It helps them realize that, you know, there's going to be a lot of nights where it's just you and a nightlight. And there's a lot of folks around you, that even folks that love you, who they're not, if you're not given the vision, you know, you're not given the responsibility. And a lot of times when we get the vision, we get so excited about it. We want to share it with everybody, but it's not everybody's vision. So many times I tried to share, like, man, I see this generation of producers, of folks who are making their money offline, who are servicing other independent rappers from here to Germany. And I didn't know what it was going to look like, but that's what ended up being CurtisKingBeats.com. And that's what segues a book to make any sense. So now as I do that, I tell you, when I tried to go back to the music for Somersault, and it did well, you know, that Somersault and Jubilee Year both went number 4 on the iTunes hip hop charts. I didn't feel like I was in the right. It didn't add up. It didn't add up. I felt like an employee again.
You still weren't fulfilled.
I was not even just the fulfillment. The fulfillment is I could find it in that, right? I think the fulfillment is a personal thing. You made an excellent post about that the other day, Head, about this is all made up shit in our head. This happiness thing, all of these things that we think we're entitled to.
Is you're not guaranteed nothing.
We're creating these things in our minds. So, you know, one of the people I study is Tony Robbins, and he says 2 things that actually make us happy and fulfilled. You know, there's things that we all desire. We have 6 human needs, but the 2 needs that make us happy are growth and fulfillment. If you're not growing growth and contribution. If you're not growing or contributing to something that's bigger than you, you're going to be obsessing over other things. The other 4 are primal needs. These are your spiritual needs, right? The primal needs are, we have a need for certainty. We want to make sure that when you turn the light on, come on, right? We have a need for uncertainty. We like surprise birthday parties. We like all these different things happening. We have a
Happy
need.
early birthday to Lupe.
Happy birthday, Lupe.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, early birthday, Lupe.
We have a need for significance. We want to feel significant. And the 4th one is love and affection, right? If you find 3 of these, they become an addiction. So when you think about social media, it's possible for people to get 3 of those primal needs taken care of and ignore the one that actually makes them happy. So you're talking about Instagram. You know, Instagram, I don't want to call them thoughts, but Instagram young ladies who get out there, you know.
Instagram young ladies
who
get out there.
Here's the thing about it. You're satisfying the need for significance. You feel significant because you got a certain amount of followers. You get certainty by putting up, you know, very like scanned pictures.
Right.
And you feel a love and affection by all these dudes who are thirsting over you.
Hitting the likes, jumping in the DMs.
Anything that you do becomes an addiction. The key is to try to link in one of those spiritual needs, which is growth and contribution. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to be feeling significant. But if you feel significant because you give to this population of kids or whatever it is that is a cause that you're behind, you feel that. I feel fulfilled because I know that the information that I'm given was never given to me. And I always came up in a generation I was like, well, the game is to be sold and not to be told.
Right.
And it was like,
Talk.
there's a lot of things pimps say I don't necessarily agree with. A lot of parts of their lifestyle that we just kind of take on because it's hip hop.
Right.
But I can't ride with everything. You know
hip-hop.
So you
what I'm
gotta
saying?
think
Like
like,
it's
wait a
hip hop
minute.
because we just like put a blanket over it and it's like it's cool, but not to be too long with it. But I say when I started owning the things that I was repeating, owning the lifestyle that I was living, owning the things that I just was considering the norm because of the industry I'm in, and I took a second. It took me having to get off of social media, back up for a second. I was like, I had to really reanalyze a lot of stuff. You know, that's when I realized that, you know, we are only given the time that we're given.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to talk about your purge from the social media. You cleansing yourself from that, because I know that's got to be one
Yeah,
thing.
you're not
yourself.
better than us.
But before that, man, chapter
Just
11.
you. No. West Coast.
Chapter 11, play the beat. When I think about placements, I try to put myself in the mindset of what the artist needs. That's from the homie Siege, producer. Now, we were talking about people getting their credits. You obviously gave him credit on that, but does he get a percentage of the book?
What, for that quote?
Yeah, for that quote. I mean,
He get a percentage of the text message and a thank you. He definitely got a percentage of that. No, I reached out to folks and I reached out to THX. You know, even like this folks who are quoted in that book who probably don't even know. Like even like Salad. Salad said something real crazy about hi-hats. He was like, the energy of a beat changes when the hi-hats come in, and it's stuff that I latched on to. Even Jay Business. I ain't talked to Jay Business in years.
Yeah.
But he had a quote where he was like, the character, the snare is the character of a beat. And I was like, this is a brilliant thing that I've seen either on Twitter or just having conversations.
Right.
But I think these, you know, I would rather share the homies' quotes.
Absolutely. No, I got you.
Than a bunch of stuff out here that, you know, that we've already recycled and seen.
Right. Yeah. No, I only bring it up because I think it's the irony in production, and you know, you hear all this stuff right now as far as who's getting credit for what and not.
Right.
You know, that's always the conversation with production. I think think that's just funny as well.
Oh, the irony of the credits
exactly.
of the credits.
Just
Yeah,
like,
I feel you.
like, okay, well, no, I gave you a credit now, but the credit I'm talking about, I want some change in my pocket. Like,
Yeah,
nah, bro,
yeah.
like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And
So,
we'll just talk. Oh,
no, I want to know about your walk away from social media, man.
Yeah.
What was your? I somewhat kind of know the decision to do that, but I really want to go through the process of how were you able to do it, and the temptations that came along with it, and going back into it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm glad Head said what he said, because I think certain people may feel a sense of like, I'm better than you by being able to step away from it. Oh, y'all are the sheep. Y'all still on that. And that wasn't my decision at all. It wasn't some hierarchy in my brain that said I need to do this. It just, life got crazy, and I can't really speak to all the details, but life got to the point where it's like I just kept seeing my name getting slandered. And it was in the midst of some of the greatest news that I have ever experienced. The fact that, you know, my lady is having a baby. I'm having a son.
Congratulations.
And congratulations
man.
to you
Yeah,
as well.
man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But in the midst of all this going on, it was like a lot of things that, you know, obviously my life was going on underneath a dramatic change from what people were used to seeing. And in the midst of all of this, my grandmother passes away.
oh shit.
When I'm seeing my name being slandered, and the thing is, like, it's not even just the slander from where it came from. That don't bother me, because I expect that. But it's sort of the people that fall in line with it and just kind of like take it on face value.
Right.
It just gets to the point where it's like, what are we doing here on this social media? We're not socializing in real life. What's going on here? I got to step away.
Right.
And stepping away wasn't I'm gonna take a 30-day fast from social media. It wasn't like something I didn't think to even share the story. But every day that I took away, and I decided, okay, instead of using this day, and some folks probably don't even realize, I forget the name of the app, but there's an app that traces how many hours you stay on social media.
Wow.
Right? And so when I got that app, it was an eye-opener. I didn't even want to see the numbers no more, because it was like 12 hours of my life were
Just
dedicated
on.
between just 3 social medias.
Crazy.
And that was just from checking it constantly. Like, 'cause how many times do we check it and don't even like acknowledge that we're checking? It's like a habit now.
Yeah,
It is. It's
a
habitual,
daily
very
routine,
habitual.
We'll
for
get into
sure.
a room, and if we don't know nobody,
Boom.
Boom. Yep.
we're not even looking for nothing.
Right.
And so
Sometimes
when
even without that, it's a habit for sure.
it's just what we do. So when I got that app and I saw that the app literally was kicking me off of social medias anyways.
Yeah.
But then every day that passed by, I started consuming books, and I started realizing, you know, one thing that I read was that when you wake up, it's a bar. When you wake up, your brain moves in 10.5 wave cycles every morning. And what that means is that whatever comes into your attention span within the first 10 minutes, is literally going to determine the mood of your day.
Wow.
Shit.
So if the first thing you do is grab a cell phone and somebody's on the other side of the world or other side of the U.S. and they're like, today is a shitty day.
You automatically
That's
affected.
the first. Not automatic. Not yet. It happens after you get up. You stub your toe on the bed. And you're like, that sucks. You go to the bathroom to brush your teeth. The toothpaste gone. You're like, oh, whatever.
Right.
You try to put your toast in. The toast burns.
Damn.
It just happens to be one of those days. You get in traffic, somebody cuts you off. You know what? This is a shitty day. You haven't even got to work yet. So the first
You only an hour into your day. Out
you're
of
only
it.
an hour into your day, and then on top of that, as if it wasn't bad enough that you consume that from the jump, at lunchtime after you at work, you consuming more of it and get a double dose of it.
You
so that
re-upping.
ends your day out.
You re-upping.
I'm saying, so when I looked at it from that perspective and realized how much damage I was doing to myself, because although I was happy about where life was going, I wasn't happy about some of the things that I was seeing. I wasn't happy about, some of the goals that I had laid out in the way that I wanted to see sort of this purpose that I'm walking in now play out. It wasn't playing out the way I wanted to. And so when I took that time away, I read a lot of books, and I always remember when the story of Marvin Gaye took the 2-year spiritual hiatus off, and he came back, and that's when you got, what's going on.
Yeah.
And then he got back into this world, and then it wrapped him up once again. But I look at that and I say, I learned a lot from just the clarity. The conversations I was having were more quality because it wasn't just 140 characters at a time with the homies. It was like, I'm going to get on the phone, I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what's up with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you questions you probably don't get asked on your daily because it's just work, family, social media.
So now with that, like, because I totally get that. I'm
Sure.
all the way with it, but I also feel like just playing devil's advocate because you're an artist now, an author. You're of the industry in a sense, and now
Right.
a lot of what you do with your business is online.
Sure.
So you have to log on to check who's buying beats. You know what I'm saying? All these things, right?
You know what though? That's what that month showed me. Is that because of the line of work that I'm into, I've been convinced that I have to be on social media.
So you're saying you don't?
I don't.
Okay.
And it's not. I don't even think that just applies to me just being this unique person. Doesn't have to be on there. What I realize is that everything becomes work. You get on social media, I'm checking out somebody's page, I'm conversating with them. That's networking in some sort shape or form in my brain.
Right.
Or I can
Yeah,
convince
you
myself.
justify
That's what I'm saying.
You
That's-
justify everything.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Even watching a music video, it's
Right.
like, well, I'm in the music business.
I'm doing research.
I'm doing research.
Right.
But when that becomes an
100%.
extension of everything that you're watching and you only follow music people, you can never turn work off.
So why don't you not just throwing it out there?
I'm about to say to continue that. So how do I maintain a business on there? What I do is now I don't get onto social media first thing in the morning. That's non-negotiable.
Gotcha.
It's almost like when somebody says I'm gonna live off of 90% of my money and I'm gonna put 10% off and save that. People are like, you crazy? You need 100% of your money. No,
right.
you can live off of 90%,
Right.
and not buy the stuff you don't need. So when I look at social media, I say no, none in the morning. First thing in the morning, I won't check it. I'm making sure I'm putting something in my brain that's going to actually carry me through this day in a positive way, and that's I'm like very adamant about that every single morning. It might sound obsessive, but that's what it is. Also, too, when I get on social media, I ask myself 3 questions, or not even 3 questions. Before I make a to-do list, 2 questions: what is the result, and what is the purpose? What result do you want to have from being on here? Well, I want to promote my book.
Yeah.
Okay, why is that important? Because if I promote this book, then I get people to purchase that, and in turn, I can leave a bag to Young Nas when he's born.
Right.
But I mean, that's one of the whys.
Yeah.
But I look at that and I say, okay, that's the purpose. Now I can from there do massive planning because I know I basically know where I'm aiming this
Gotcha.
this sniper rifle at. Instead of going to social media and just aimlessly going through there, it don't take nothing for you be on there thinking you're gonna check
You
one
get
thing.
lost. You get lost for
You
sure.
on there 2
Oh, you
hours
go down
later,
the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you get down
the rabbit hole, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so I say,
Man,
you know
look
what?
at this. Oh, shit. Man, I do want some sushi.
That's
You know
man,
what's
you
crazy? And I don't
find
want to
yourself
give
down
one
the
away.
Explorer
I don't want to
page.
give away one of your gems, though, head. I don't want to give it away. But
Give it
you
away.
Told me, you
Shit.
told me years ago.
Give it away.
No,
God
you
damn
told
it.
me years ago. Archive.
Archive.
I'm not gonna
Oh.
go into too much detail,
Oh,
but
yep.
archive.
Yep.
And there's a lot of content
no
that people
shit.
think, especially on my YouTube. Like much love to everybody that supports my YouTube. We had 40,000 subscribers now. These are folks who are getting entertainment on a daily basis. I'm putting up 10-minute to 25-minute videos, all with a specific season plan episode.
Right.
But these are already archived.
Yep.
So I don't have to physically be on the internet. That's what Hootsuite is for.
Gotcha,
Hootsuite
gotcha.
can be on the internet. I gotta go figure out what's the next plan.
I got you. Okay.
And so when I think about, like, you know, most of the time, like when you're looking at, even like when you get your analytics on Instagram, you see your traffic is probably from about 11 a.m. to about 2 p.m. And after that, just drops. Why are we on there consuming at that point in time? At that point, you're an Instagram user.
Got you.
You can't look at that like I'm doing business. At some point, you got to say, I'm not being strategic with my timing, and that stuff trickles down to your work. And I started noticing when it was like, yo, I came into this to make music, and that's the least thing that I do nowadays.
Right.
I don't make as many beats as I do. I don't make as many songs. And so by process of elimination, it was like, what am I pushing this artistry thing for? It's for vanity at this point.
Yeah.
So you know better than the Instagram models.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I wasn't. At this point, it's like it's about, you know, so if it's not a deliberate plan, I'm walking around aimlessly. And for me, it was like, I love music. I always love music. I love creating music. But if there is not money behind this situation, if there is not a specific, where are we going?
Right.
It's like jumping in the car and just driving.
Just putting the GPS. You put it in the GPS.
And driving because you're a good driver.
Right.
That's not good enough.
Gotcha.
So for me, it was like, something is moving over here. And in the moment that I let go, you know, because I was a difficult one for me, but the moment that I let go and I said, okay, I'm going to follow through purpose, everything became water.
So for you, you're saying for you that's what works. So why not in the morning say, you know what, I know I want to search this.
Right.
You know, I want to search inspirational quotes in the morning.
Right.
When I jump online versus saying, let me cut it off entirely.
Because the way that these social medias work, they're a lot more deliberate than they let on. These algorithms,
Oh, 100%.
Facebook is here to literally keep you on Facebook.
Yeah.
But they're not here to keep you on Facebook with things that you think you like.
Yeah.
They know what we like more than we know.
Yep.
Crazy.
That's why, like, it was crazy. It was a time where I was like, man, I feel like somebody's dying every single day on my timeline. No, that's just what Facebook shows me, because they know that I'm going to go down my timeline and slow down. They know how many seconds I'm watching this.
Yeah.
So now they're literally giving me the TV that I asked for without knowing I asked for it.
Crazy.
So when I saw that, I was like, it's not even a matter of like focusing in on the social media. Like, I can change that algorithm, but
Right.
it takes time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Through
why-
habits.
So rather than trying to fall down that rabbit
cut
hole,
it all off entirely.
how about I control the media?
Yeah.
I got enough I got enough hard drives. I got a laptop full of just all the inspirational stuff I need.
Yeah.
Why not go ahead and control the station again? Because
Yeah.
I feel like now these websites are being altered in a way where they're not the bad guys.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do. Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook.
Yep.
Instagram wants you to stay on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's why Facebook bought Instagram. They
Yeah.
want you to stay between those two. That's why when you leave, you go check a link out, it still has that blue branding at the top of Facebook, because you're still on, like, don't get it twisted. You still on Facebook, bruh.
Yeah.
Like but that's what I'm saying, is that understanding that and understanding that they are in a business for themselves as well. I gotta pull back.
Yeah.
I gotta pull back and realize that, you know, one thing that we don't speak enough about, especially in hip hop, I think now we are, is mental health.
Yeah.
And so I put myself in a place where, by my own doing, my mental health was deteriorating.
Damn.
And it wasn't nothing dramatic. It was just the fact that I felt like I was becoming stupider.
Damn. So how
The more
I feel like that a lot of times too. We talk about this. I literally went through, like, about 6 months ago. Maybe 6 to 8 months. No, it was about 6 months ago. Right before the summertime, I went through this period, what you describing, like, I was going crazy.
Yeah.
And I felt like that. Like, I was like, man, but every 6 months I go through a transition where I feel like I'm stagnant. I feel like I got to do something. I was like, and I'll hit him and, you know, different people and be like, bro, like, I'll just be irritated and don't know where the energy is coming from. But it's literally because I'm starting to not be able to articulate myself verbally, because I'm consuming so much just stupid shit.
Yeah.
That it's like, I feel like I'm really getting dumb. Like, I'm getting dumb.
Right.
And I'm like, I pride myself on my intellect.
Yes, you
so
do.
again, going back to my fundamental, you know, what it takes for me to operate on a daily basis, like, oh shit, like my immune system is being attacked.
Yes. And I'll tell you, even in addition to that, what you describing and what I've come to learn, that moment where you start feeling like that irritation has come out of nowhere and it needs to get out, it's the same. It's almost, and it's in a way the same irritation you get when you outgrow your shoes. there's some growth that got to happen.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's why growth and contribution are the things that make us happy and fulfilled. Like, how many times have you been growing at something and been sad about it?
Damn.
No,
Yeah.
not
You know what I'm
really.
saying? How many times have you been given to something that's bigger than just what you represent? Like right now, I'm not Chuck Dizzle from the radio. I'm just me,
Right.
and I'm giving to this person that is in dire need of what I can supply. Right now, it's not about my name. It's about what I'm giving. There's been so many moments that I've had over the last 3 years that became that. And so, you know, when people see me now, I guess I know it's folks that probably think I didn't lost my mind or whatnot. And I can't. That's human being. At the end of the day, you know, Gary Vee always says it too. He says the moment that you happy, you won. He said you can stop watching my videos.
Exactly.
When you happy,
Absolutely.
if you
That's what I
happy
love
doing
about
what you're
Gary
doing, you know.
Vee, yeah.
And I see, that's funny because like
Love it, man.
Instagram lets me know my homies that like the same
Yep,
stuff I'm
yep.
liking, and like I see all the time that you liking the Gary Vee stuff. But it's like, I don't know, that's what we're here for. Ultimately, I mean, we do make this whole happiness thing up in our minds, but we do pursue it.
So let me ask you this then, because I was on Instagram Live,
Okay.
and a lot of these things, a lot of those videos I post come from those Instagram Live conversations,
Right.
But even like I think I was talking to Lupe about it, our producer, and I was talking to a couple other people about it, where it's like you're not entitled to anything.
Sure.
So where do people get this ideology from that I'm supposed to be happy? I'm supposed to find somebody that loves me. I'm supposed to find somebody that's not gonna cheat on me. I'm supposed to, be vegan. I'm supposed nigga, you made this shit up in your mind. All this is manifested in your mind.
Yeah.
And somehow you place the burden on the world. So like, how do you like, is that the same concept?
I think it's a lot of our instinct. It's the same concept, but I think it's a lot of our instinct. We want to be offended. We want to be offended because it reminds us that we're alive. When we get angry, that reminds us that there's still things that make us feel alive.
Yeah.
That's why you get people who are trolls on the internet. They like you coming with that energy,
Reaction, yeah.
because like, man, somebody got that energy with me.
Right,
Because my
right.
mama don't have that energy with me. She don't care about nothing I'm into or doing. I can sit here and watch YouTube for 12 and 18 hours, but if I say something to him, I get that energy I was looking for.
Yeah.
Because I see them like laughing and like get happy about that. So I started realizing, okay, that's an energy issue, and it's also a need to be offended. One of the books I read during that 30-day hiatus is a book called Unoffendable. And at first I didn't get it because I thought it was going to be like, because it's a Christian author. I didn't know if it was going to be like all scripture and what it was
Right,
going
right,
to be.
right.
But dude was like, he really gave game on it. And one thing he said is that the next time you run to get angry, the next time you run to get offended, realize that whatever you are being offended by, you've made you made the choice, first of all, right? You got to own that you made the choice. Somebody spits on you to make you
Right,
wet. They don't
right,
make you mad. You're making that choice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp.
Somebody spit on you.
They make you
that
wet.
makes you wet.
They don't make you.
They don't make you mad.
Because you ask anybody, they're gonna say it make me mad,
That's the clip right there.
That's the clip.
right? So the book was saying this: before you rush to be, because we're in an era now where like motherfuckers got a problem with the Christmas cups.
Listen, I'm DJ.
The
Head.
Starbucks
I
cups.
remember that.
People have a problem with me.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like they're offended by everything. Here's the thing about it, though. Whatever we are angry about, on some level, we've done it. We're literally all walking contradictions. So when I think about somebody who slandered my name or said something, how about this? Let's get to the root of what that situation is. If somebody slandered my name, at the root of that is somebody said something that was untruthful about my name and it hurt my feelings. That's the root of it.
That's
We're
the
not
root
gonna
of
say
it.
that's the root of it.
Yeah.
Right.
If we go from that basis, I know I didn't say
Did some
something
shit,
that
right.
I was misinformed.
Right.
And you
It
said something hurt somebody.
And I would-
I popped off.
I popped up. I said something.
I said a couple
Some
things.
shit.
But at that point in time, what gives us the right now to be so up in arms about what somebody else is doing?
Yeah.
You know, we're and that's not to say that we shouldn't be passionate about these things. These things, problems, are what make us who we are.
Right.
You know, these conflicts they boil our blood up because it make us feel alive. But just realize that you in control of that.
Yeah.
So let me.
I was gonna say this is super random. Have you ever intentionally dissed somebody in your music?
Diss somebody in my
Yeah,
music? Yes.
not provide the truth and just like
Right.
go at just
Absolutely.
okay
Absolutely.
just hella random.
Absolutely.
All right, I don't know what the fuck he
Yeah, that was
talking
just,
about.
that was
random.
yeah.
I was just
In
random.
the last 10 years, no.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. All right,
gotcha.
bet.
This is
All
like
right.
back when I was in the Carson
Gotcha,
days. This
gotcha.
is when I was around like Bulldogs, like
Yeah,
Grim
man.
and them, and they was like, you better go at 'em.
battle rap days and shit.
Yeah, no, that ain't not in the last 10 years.
Gotcha.
Though. It's
I was having this conversation. I think we talked about this before on the podcast. I'm not sure, but me, Chuck, and Salas were collectively one day. I asked him. I said, "You know what's fucked up? I don't know what I'm offended by.
Wow.
Like I actually don't know
Right.
what offends me.
Right.
Which is fucking scary.
Right.
That means I'm a sociopath.
You got a high level.
Not necessarily. I
Because-
feel what you're saying, but not necessarily.
So
yeah.
to the I don't know what that. I'm gonna definitely check that book out.
Sure.
Because it sounds like some shit I want to take in.
Yeah.
But what's fucking crazy to me, like you said, when you boil shit down to the root of why am I offended by this? Because it ultimately hurt my feelings.
Right.
It's like, damn, that makes me really
what it is.
double take on back of it, because it's like, if I'm not offended by nothing, in turn, the root of that is it didn't hurt my feelings. In turn, which means what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, that's the root of the saying,
You're not
I
a
ain't
human
shit.
being. That's
Exactly.
What it is.
But that's the root of the saying, the
he's a
cliche that
robot.
we all say, like, I ain't shit. I ain't shit, though. Like, when you saying that, and you know, like, when you talking about somebody, and then you double it back, you even it out by saying, but I ain't shit, though.
Right.
Like, that's the root of that saying, is the saying is that I'm capable of the same
shit,
monster, the
right.
things that you can make this person out to be a monster
right.
about. In some shape or form, we've been that tyrant in our own house.
Yeah.
That's why, like, there's a lot of things I can criticize the president for.
Okay,
a lot of
absolutely.
things that I'm looking like, and I'm like, this dude is wow.
Right.
But I'm like, have I been my own Trump to somebody in my life?
Hell yeah.
Somebody looks
Come
the
on.
same way.
If you really dig into it,
Yeah, no, for sure.
none of us are without fault. And I'm not saying that you should be walking around here, you know, as a flower child and everything. But I'm saying that doesn't surprise me. And I think that's what makes you such a polarizing figure as you are. But that's needed. Without you, the people who are walking around here timid, if everybody was like that, we would never know what
Right.
anybody feels, and we would all waste each other's time for years and years. I'd rather know, like when I first meet Head, I know how
he's
Head
gonna
feel
get,
about
right.
whatever he about to say.
You know what? That's true. And I just to touch on what you're saying,
Yeah.
I think that based on what they was telling me, that I was told that what's interesting about the concept is, as soon as I meet you, or as soon as I come across somebody, I make you make a decision immediately.
Yeah.
I fuck with him, or I ain't fucking with him.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's more. I think that's more needed than anything. Like you
Right.
said about Trump, everybody's made a decision,
Right.
but you have an opinion one way or another.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
think that's a more honest and transparent society that we need to be headed towards and not running away from.
We can't do that as long as we plugged in. And I don't mean that like we got to leave the matrix. I ain't talking like that. I'm saying as long as we're plugged in, we have constant things that are feeding every one of those instincts to want to just wild out or act up or respond. I get it sometimes when I'm be sitting up here on my comments and I see somebody say, because most of it, like I tell you, I get like 95% love on everything that I'm doing because of the cause of it.
Right.
But there's always somebody that
Yeah,
comes.
yeah.
And it seems like they just know
What to
that
do.
button. Like,
Right.
I don't know how they know or who they are.
What's the button for you?
For me,
Pigment?
nah, hell no. The thing is, like, people don't understand, like, whatever you said to me and the homies have said even
Oh,
worse stuff that
oh,
you
yeah.
can't even say on air
Yeah.
ever, right?
Oh, I know.
Stuff that we probably would be banned from, but I'm used to that. Even like my like I had, it's funny because I read it in the book too. Is I had like a Chicano homie, right? But like we would talk about the need to uplift our people in the same sense. He would say I was Braxton from Jamie Foxx, and I would go in on him, and then like it would just like it was like the player haters ball on Chappelle's show,
Right.
But you need that.
Yeah, no,
you need that to a
exactly.
certain
That
degree so we
release.
can stop fronting
Right.
and wasting
Stop
all these
fronting.
years. Wasting all these years working with each other, thinking it's one thing when it's not. It hasn't been that from the beginning. I would rather somebody like that's why I love the saying now. Keep that same energy when I see you.
Yeah.
Because it's like that should be that from the jump. If
Exactly.
people did that, we wouldn't have people who like. I think about producers too. When I think about producers who instead of going to a legal direction, go to Twitter looking for sympathy. Once
Yep.
again, they're looking for significance. They're looking for the
Validation.
certainty of a reaction, and they're looking for love and affection.
Yeah.
That's why it's an addiction. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
When you go that direction, you're not trying to solve a problem. You're trying to fulfill a personal need inside.
Yeah.
That's a bigger problem. And I think as long as we're plugged in, I think that's why we're going to continue to repeat the same action. That's why you keep seeing like you see somebody get money and just blow it all off.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
because money is not the root of all evil. Money is the magnifying glass. Whoever you was before, money just gives you more air and opportunity to be that.
Yep.
That's why you can't be surprised when if somebody's crazy with money, somebody go spend their $20 million like crazy. That's what they would have did with $20.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Y'all trying to get something to eat? I'm about to go
right,
over here to
right.
to In-N-Out.
They definitely not thinking about
It's my
that
last
10%
20
or nothing like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like trying to get a nug. Okay, I guess my
Yeah.
last 20. Okay,
Right.
I got something for you. Like
Yeah.
if that's the way they spend money, that's the
do
way
it.
they'll spend money with 20 million. Why do Why do we think that's going to change? Because now somebody's being being put in a position of power, and I think that's because we associate fame. We associate we associate fame with intelligence and power and
that's
knowledge.
bullshit.
Yeah.
And I did it too. Hold on, I did it too. Here's the real bar.
Why?
Here's the thing about it. We've all, as a society, sort of been built to sort of view those with more money on a hierarchy system. We look at that as at the top of the pyramid. Oh, you must have gotten here because you did the things that I couldn't do or didn't do.
Right.
That's generally, we know that's bull. But generally we look at that and say, man, how did this person get here? That's why you get like people who come to the forefront and they try to pose as leaders, but then they do things that don't add up.
Yeah.
Like I remember Dame Dash said something. He said, when people look like they're winning but feel like they're losing, they do dumb shit. How many times do you see that?
Hell yeah.
Folks that you like, yo, bro, you out here winning.
Yeah.
And I can relate to it because I've been in a situation where it was like career-wise, that's why the project I did, Jetpack on Even, existed. My career looked like it was taking off. I had the Glass of Malone placement. I had the Ab Soul. Everything's going on, but the Jetpack was on E because I was broke as hell.
Yeah.
You know, but I wasn't in a space to own that like I am now because reputation is everything, especially at that time. It was like you couldn't go around being the broke rapper, the broke producer. That wasn't appealing.
But I felt like you owned up to it early in your career when a lot of other people didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, which brings me to my next question, man. Like, is this? And I've asked you this on text. I've asked you this before.
Sure.
Are you for sure? Is rapping done? Are you done being a rapper?
I think that was something else from the subtle art of not giving a fuck, was that, you know, don't believe people who talk in absolutes. I can't say that.
Okay.
From something I've been loving to do for so long, but what I can tell you is that I'm more driven by what I'm doing right now.
Right.
But if a situation comes where I feel like I have a concept and I want to pull it together, I can't say I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But right now, I can say 100%. Not even in the absolute, but I can tell you where my heart is being driven right now, getting the feeling that I have when I'm speaking to an audience of producers and they're talking to me and I'm sharing them stories that are like, these are my Carson days.
Right.
Stuff that I didn't think was of value to a general audience.
Hell yeah.
Looking now at a room full of 50, 60, 70, 80, now it's growing even more, and seeing people who are like, yo, the next time you speaking, I'm there. That's kind of support I wasn't even getting as a rapper.
Wow.
I would be naive to believe this is working, so I must just go back to the music and then take this energy back over there. Like even the fact that my album was number 4 in the iTunes hip hop charts, I know that that's not solely driven by music. I also know that I don't suck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know that I put my work in and I make quality music, but I know that that wouldn't have been available to me had I not built the trust of an audience that said, look, you never ask us for nothing and you give us all this game. What do you want?
Right, we got you.
I want to be I want to chart on the iTunes charts.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll give you 2 number 4 albums. What's next? I got a book out, and really, I just want to share my story with you. I'm not after just your money. Like that's not what it's about. But at the same time, it's my moral responsibility to ask for, basically, to be successful. That's my responsibility to my family. That's my responsibility as a man. Money is literally the echo of the value that you're giving out. That's all it is.
And I love
Money is the echo of the value giving out. Chuck was gonna blow past that one. I caught that one.
Because I know we can
You know
go back
what I'm
and listen to it
saying?
again. Now,
Bob Berg. Bob Berg make that one.
but I feel like
Bars.
you've always been this type of person from jump, and that's why I fuck with your energy from off top.
Right.
And I just love how, like, now the things that you're doing, the stuff that you've said in your music, and just the type of person that you are off the mic is being magnified times 10, times 20. For you, when you made that first video on your iPhone, and I think we even talked about this the last time you were here, but I just want to reiterate this: when you made that video on your iPhone and it shot up to 70,000, man, what was that feeling like for it to surpass all of the videos that you've campaigned for, you know, tried to get on show, actually completed getting on shows, all the things that you've tried for, and this one thing that you just said, I'm just spewing my heart out on to actually do more numbers than the shit that you were actually campaigning for.
You want the real answer?
The real answer.
I don't want no bullshit.
And I said again?
I was angry.
Why?
I was almost borderline bitter that it was like, here have been projects that I dedicated 4, 5, 6 months and people know when I get involved with anything with my music, it's
you
not
all
just
in.
music. Writing,
Yeah.
you know, to the recording, to the marketing campaigns for it, all this energy, all this driving, all this strategizing, all this stressing about what's going on. And it's like it gets out there, and the numbers it does is the numbers it does.
Right.
For a video that I switch around on my iPhone and that's what takes off,
Yeah.
at first I was angry. I was
Word.
like looking at this like what the hell? Like I've given you cameras that are $10,000 cameras
Right.
to shoot this song that y'all was supposedly so vibing with. I was angry.
Right.
But then when I realized, okay, what is this for? Who is this for? It's not about you. When I had to continue, like, because the thing about it was I didn't just have a wake up moment. Like me going to the Tony Robbins seminar in San Jose a few years ago when I stopped eating meat and all that.
Yeah.
That wasn't just oh my God, my life changed. Your life don't change in a moment's instant.
And I think
It's
that's
a
important that you
combination.
say that too,
Yeah.
because a lot of people think that when
It's
you
one
talk
thing
about
that happened,
the getting
yeah.
away from social media, that the next day you're gonna have this epiphany. It's like, no, that
Like,
doesn't
bro,
happen.
you are who you are.
Yeah.
You are who you are, and it took 32 years to get here at that point. 32, 31 years to get here. I got a lot of things I got to work out.
Right.
I'm still working out, right? And I'm still not where I want to be, but I'll tell you, I'm a lot closer than I was 2 years ago. And I knew that when I knew that I could feel peace at knowing that even if I push forward, the people that I expected, and that was another problem. My expectations are my responsibility too. If I expected this person to support what I'm doing, do this or do this, I've already set myself up for you know a bitter response or anger or depression, whatever comes from that. When I got that in check, and then I realized everything is icing on the cake, and I realized the abundance, because that's the one thing too, is that I really wish that, and this is wishful thinking, but when rappers get signed, I wish the first thing that they would go through after coming from some of these crazy impoverished neighborhoods and coming up in an environment that teaches you scarcity, that if you got something and I don't got something,
Yep.
that means that I'm missing out on something. If that needs to be the first course after getting signed. Financial literacy is cool,
Right.
but if you don't get that part intact, financial literacy ain't gonna mean nothing,
Nothing, right,
because you still gonna operate your business by that scarcity mindset. So the moment that I stopped, looked around, and I said, you know, like I remember it was one time where something crazy hit me financially, and I stood up like a crazy man, and I yelled at God. I was like, God, I'm too smart to be this broke. I said, what does it break?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Right.
How am I here again? And so when I made the decision, I said, you know what? This stuff is my I said, this stuff is my responsibility, one. And two, when I realized that I'm more in control than I give myself credit for, and that it's not about me. Anything I want. If you want to make $1 million, find something that 1 million people would find valuable for $1. Come on, man.
Break it
Like,
down. Yeah.
if that's what it's all about, I can give you all kind of value.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about it. When I first started doing these videos, and even when it comes to the book, because I'm sure people looking at me, you know, there's producers that I've looked up to that don't have a book, and they're looking like, well, who are you to write a book?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about it, and I got this for one of my favorite podcasts, is that in a courtroom, the expert witness is somebody that knows about a particular situation that the majority of the people in the room don't know about.
Yeah.
How many times am I an expert witness in a room full of producers? I may not be the most elite in terms of fame,
Right,
but
right.
I'm the expert witness in a lot of places.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that like going in there saying I'm the expert. It
Right.
just happened where people would ask me questions. It's like, I actually went through that, so this is what you do.
Yeah.
And then being around so many intelligent people too.
Yeah.
That helped. That helped tremendously. Being around great mentors. I'm thankful for the mentors that I had.
Yeah.
From even like, especially like a Salas.
Yeah.
Because I think that he was probably the most recent person that inspired me along this road, because there was a lot of times where I was like, and it's not a shot to nobody, but there's many times we will go into rooms and I'm like, we're the most intelligent ones in this room.
Right,
Yep.
right.
But we're vying for the business and the attention of
Yeah.
other people.
Yep.
And they're the ones that get to make the decisions. Why is it like that?
Yep.
And I think that was part of the reasoning why I'm doing what I'm doing now, is that, you know, I don't feel like anybody's employee anymore. And I'm not down on anybody who's in that situation, because I worked at Quiznos for 4 years.
Yeah.
Anybody gonna say anything is me.
Right.
But when I got to a point where it was like, so many things that I worked so hard for, like that's one thing Les Brown says, we give our all to the company, we give everything we got to the company, but when it comes to our own dreams, we start cutting shortcuts.
Right.
Like when people say like, how am I supposed to start a business and I got a 9 to 5? How are you not if that's your passion?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you got 7 to 10, whatever
to do whatever, right?
But we got time for the liquor game. We got time for, you know, for Xbox, for PlayStation,
Social media.
We don't have that.
Right.
Social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Straight
had to
up.
call myself on that
Straight
too.
up.
It's like, how can I be mad at things not going the way they're going? I'm not even
You're not
taking my own
invested in
dreams
you.
serious.
Yeah.
You're not invested.
I'm
in
not
you.
invested in.
Yeah.
So why should anybody else care? And I got the nerve to have the audacity to walk around here and say I'm entitled to something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think once I turn that voice off of scarcity, which is the biggest one, I really feel like that was a shift that had a domino effect on a lot of other decisions. So even this book, that book is the byproduct of me saying I am a man of value. I've had experiences that are very valuable, and if I can get this into your hands, I feel that it can help you along your DIY journey, whatever that shall be, because we all have, there's no such thing as a problem only you have.